So recently I took a trip to Europe, Italy and France. I went there for Exons, the perfume fair or conference in Milan. And in this video I will tell you all about the fragrances that I purchased on the trip in Italy and also in France, all coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. Let's get right to it. Yes, I did go to Exons. Had a great time. I was sick, unfortunately, throughout most of the conference, but I sampled a lot of fragrances. And I also went to France after the conference. Went to the south of France, to Grasse, and did a lot of smelling fragrances there. And I picked up a lot of fragrances. Well, actually, it's not that much, but there's several fragrances here that I'm going to tell you all about, so let's get right to it. So I didn't do any shopping in Italy until I got back to fly back to the States. So I did a few fragrance purchases at the duty-free in Milan. So in Milan I was looking around for fragrances that I wanted, didn't have, or I didn't see a lot of niche fragrances, but I did sniff around some fragrances, most of them the designers, and ended up really loving or falling in love with the latest Acqua Di Parma fragrance called Chinotto de Liguria, or di Liguria. So this is actually a citrus. I opened this one up, but everything else is pretty much closed. No, we have a few more opened up stuff, but this is a great citrus, and it's inspired by a drink. I think it's a cocktail or some kind of a drink in Italy, a citrus drink. So I smelled it, and I immediately loved it, but it does remind me of something that I have. So it doesn't smell original, but the smell is great. It smells soapy and clean and very citrusy. So this is the latest from the Acqua Di Parma Blue Mediterraneo collection. And this is actually now exclusively sold at Bloomingdale's. And when I was purchasing it, the woman there said that it's exclusive here for a month and then it'll be launched in everywhere around the world. So as soon as I got back, it was already available here. So I bought a 120 or 150 ml bottle. And the cool thing at the airport, the Milano Malpensa duty-free, she told me I could get 20% off if I buy this, and buy anything else after that, I would get 20% off. So this retails for, let's see, 100 euros, and I got 20% off of it. So I got 20, actually, seems like I got 22% off. So it's $22 I saved, or 22 euros I saved on this one. So here's the other thing. As I was looking around, I went and bought several other fragrances, and one of the associates said, wait, you don't get 22%, don't pay regular price on this. Pay regular price on this, it's $71.50, and you can get 22% or 20% off of the rest of them. So I said, sure, why not? This is 71.50 euros, and it's a cheaper deal. And I said, why not? Might as well do that. And she kind of assisted me with that. But this is a fragrance called the Black Rose by Trussardi. So Trussardi is an Italian fashion house, and they have fragrances, and apparently they've launched 3 new fragrances, like an exclusive collection. But for an exclusive collection, an EDP concentration, I felt the prices were pretty cheap, 71.50 euros. And this is my very first fragrance from the Trussardi line of fragrances. And of course I love rose, so I figured might as well pick that up. So Trussardi's the Black Rose, comes in a box like this. And then inside the bottle is actually in a brownish colored packaging inside. So I'm not too familiar with Trussardi's fragrances, but this one actually appealed to me. And they have 3 in this line, the exclusive line. One of them was an oud, and I think the other one was an amber. But the rose appealed to me, and this is Trussardi's the Black Rose. So we're gonna get something dark. It's a rose, of course, but a dark kind of rose. I'm gonna spray this because I'm not wearing anything right now. But I felt like she was being really nice and honest with me to let me take 20% off the other ones rather than this one, where I got 22% off of this, and had to pay regular price on this one. But this is a very, okay, I'm familiar with this kind of rose. It's a leathery, saffrony, dark rose. It definitely has niche qualities to it. So I guess you can kind of accept the fact that it's part of their like more niche or exclusive lineup of fragrances, but the underlying designerish quality in here kind of gives it like a balance of niche and designer appeal, if that makes sense. So I like this one. It's not like over the top saffron and rose, but it does have that unique niche quality like appeal to it. I mean, I don't know the brand too much. I've heard a lot about fragrances from this line, but I never bought any. This is the first, as I said. But I like it. And for $71.50, I felt like it was a pretty good deal. Conversion-wise, it would be about $85 for this fragrance if you bought it here in the States. And this is 100 ml. So anyway, that's the Black Rose by Trussardi. So this next one I bought, I had to buy it because no one in the States, well actually it is sold in the States, but no one in San Francisco is carrying it. This is Prada L'Homme Low. So the reason I bought this is because, like I said, no one is carrying it here, and I did want this one. I mean, I could have mail ordered it, but I felt it was a good deal, especially since it was 58 euros. Now that's a freaking amazing deal. It's 58 euros, and then I also saved 12.76 on this. So for a 100 ml bottle that retails for about $100 here in the States at Macy's, because Macy's.com did have this, but the stores didn't. So I had to have it because it's really inexpensive. So I like the original a lot in this lineup. And of course I like the Intense EDP, but never really tried the low. And now I'll go ahead and sample it. Usually I'm not the biggest fan of low style of fragrances, but I like this one enough to warrant a full bottle. It smells quite similar, but it's got this light and airiness to it. And not the saffron, but the iris in here is already kind of fluffy and airy. So it adds a more interesting lightweight touch to the fragrance, which I quite like. Actually, this is really, really wearable, and I do like it. So this is Prada L'Homme Low. I scored it for a really good deal, I think. It's a pretty good deal. Almost like discounted price. Last but not least, I wanted to pick up the latest Acqua Di flanker, this one right here, Absolu. This one was 101 euros and 50 cents, I guess that's what you call it, but this is 150 ml. So this one was with a discount. So I saved 22.53 on this one, which is really, really cool because again, this is a larger size. It's not the 100 ml. It's 125 ml, sorry about that. So again, it's a larger size, and it was just launched here in the States, and people are talking about it. And I wanted to experience this one. I like the the Perfume a lot. I really love it. But I feel like this one is not as good, even though I picked up a bottle. We'll go ahead and test it out right now. Here's what it looks like. The one time I smelled this, it smelled a bit generic. It smells like a lot of different fragrances that are out there, very, very similar. I mean, I certainly prefer this one. This smells to me like really classy. This one has too much like watery, kind of cologne-y, not very pleasant smell, unfortunately. I love the bottle, I love the look, but it's disappointing smell-wise. I prefer this one. Now, what do you guys think? Do you like the Absolu more, or do you like the Perfume more? Let me know. But still good to have in the collection. I'll wear it once in a while, but it doesn't appeal to me the smell-wise as much. Anyway, that's the Absolu. So those are the fragrances I picked up in Milan at the duty-free. Oh, also they gave me this little shower gel. Trussardi did have another fragrance that they had launched called RIFLESSO, and they gave me this as a gift. It's a shampoo and shower gel. Anyway. The fragrance was nice too, but I didn't pick that one up. Now, I went to France and I went to some of the perfumeries, the classic perfumeries there, and I picked up some fragrances. Now, two fragrances I picked up from Molinard. And Molinard, I've reviewed fragrances on this channel. I've reviewed these two, Queer and Vanille Patchouli. But in France, the bottles are different. They come in cylindrical tubes like this. And I picked up a bottle of fragrance called Violette. Now it does come in this kind of bottle as well, but in France they were like this. They didn't have the purple bottles. Now Violette is, again, in the same collection, so the pricing is about the same. These retail for about $80 or $75 for 100 ml. And here it also has this engraving, which is kind of cool. But the Violette is very, very candy-like violet. Like if you like violet candy, this is the one for you. And I really like this one. It's slightly like sugary almost. I was gonna say candy again, even though I said violet candy. But it's nice, pleasant scent. It's happy, it's uplifting, and violet candy is always like a pleasant smell to me. So I wanted to have something that smells like a true violet candy in the collection, and this one does it for me. So Violette or Violet is one that I added. I bought another one, and I've been into musks a lot lately, and this is just straight on musk from Molinard. And look at the juice on this one, it's really dark compared to this one is really light. So this one is a very ambery, sweet musk. Almost has the same touches of the Quill or Queer leather. It kind of has similar fruity touches here, but it's a musk that dries down to be more of a musk, but starts out fruity and ambery. Really, really love it, and it'll be put to good use. And these were around 60 euros, I think, so pretty inexpensive. Here, they retail for about $75, as I said, in these bottles. But from what I understand, they are switching over to these bottles, but I'm not really 100% clear. So if anybody knows, please let me know, put it in the comments. But so far, in this country, in the USA, the bottles look like this, and in France, the bottles look like this. So that's that one. And from the Molinard store, I also picked up this Rasoline, this classic shaving cream that they have brought back. And if you ever make it to Molinard, you'll see some of the historic artwork they have there and things like that. Some of the old historic bottles, they're known for a fragrance called Habanita. You'll see them there. But this is a Rasoline. This is a shaving cream that they used to have in the old days, and they brought it back. And I'm very, very curious to try this one. It was 12 euros, I think. I love the packaging. It's very retro. And I love historic brands that are kind of like bringing back some of their classic items in their collections. So this is Rasoline. I'll let you know all about it once I start wearing it. I mean, not wearing it. I'll let you know all about it once I start using it. Then I picked up this fragrance from one of the grocery stores from Rouge and Gallet. This is Gingebre Rouge, this one right here. Now I wore Gingebre in from this brand, the original Gingebre or the Ginger, and I loved it. And I had a review of it on the previous channel. But here they have a flanker for it, or a new version of it. This time it's Gingebre Rouge or Red Ginger, and they also have a dominant note of pomegranate in here. So it's a spicy, fruity fragrance that's really, really happy and uplifting. Now these are eau de colognes, I believe, but they're very light and they don't last too long, but they're also very inexpensive. This was around 20 some euros for like a 50 ml bottle. So if you want a fruity, happy, uplifting kind of a fragrance, something that will kind of like cheer you up, this one is definitely one to try. So this is Gingebre Rouge by Rouge and Gallet. It's one of my favorite inexpensive brands that you can buy in France, and they're sold at grocery stores or drug stores. I picked this one up at the Monoprix in Nice. So I also went to a perfumery called Galimard. I went to Galimard in Ez, and I picked up a collection of fragrances in the small size in a package like this. So basically the fragrances come like that. Let me see if I can turn it around so you can see them. So we have 1747, 1747. Then we also have Citoyen, Bel Canto, and Aventure. Great fragrances, very masculine, classic, classy, manly fragrances, not overwhelming, freshies, spices, things like that. And Galimard is one of the older houses. I think it's the oldest out of the three in Grasse. Galimard, Fragonard, and of course Molinard, as I was talking about. Those three houses have been around for a while. And I wanted this one because I love Galimard. Stay tuned for a video of the House of Galimard that I did that I'll air very soon. But in the meantime, I'll be putting these to use. Now on the old channel, I did have a video for Galimard as well. And I think I reviewed Bel Canto. And recently you saw my fresh video, Bamboo Truffle was featured in it, which is a fresh bamboo fragrance. So that's pretty much it. That's the haul. I paid for these fragrances. I bought them. and hopefully I'll put them to reviews or use in the future, as well as including them on lists. But guys, have you heard of these fragrances? Have you used them, worn them, want them, or had them in the past? Let me know. Also, if you have any questions or comments, please list. I'll answer as best as I can. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please subscribe. There's a subscribe button below. Click that subscribe button. Also click the bell icon so you'll be notified for any future videos. And of course, if we do giveaways, you will get the notifications. Otherwise, you won't know you've won. And other than that, please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.